How's it going, everyone? It is Prashan here with another custom card challenge for Marvel Snap. Shout out to Drewberry for lending me his community. I'm going to try to keep these going for you guys. So in the comments, let me know which one is your favorite. And in the description, if you want to participate in the custom card challenges, I'll put the link to Drewberry's Discord in the description. And this week, or this video, is centered around discard cards for the most part. So the keyword was discard. So we're going to go over these cards one by one. I'm going to let you know who the artist is, and then we'll go over the card and see how good it is. And the first one we have by Cheesus here, and this is Ego, the Living Planet. When you draw this, transform into a random location, which is pretty interesting. So he keeps his power, he keeps his cost, but he just turns into a random location, and then I guess he just stays in your hand, and then when you want to change the location, you just put him down, right? So it's just a random, it's a location that has power. So I'm assuming it would work well with Silver Surfer as well, like a technically like a fifth card in a location, right? I'm assuming that's how that will work. Let me know if I'm totally wrong, Cheesus, but I'm assuming that's how that will work, and I think that would be pretty cool. So shout out to Cheesus for Ego. He's not discard. I'm gonna give him some points off because it's not discard, but it is a pretty cool concept. Very cool concept. And next we have Scarlet Scarab. When your opponent discards a card, you draw a card once per turn. She's a 2/2, and I think this is pretty cool. I think this is a very good card. But okay, only once per turn. I was gonna say. I totally forgot to read once per turn. But once per turn is pretty good. Like, especially if you're like trying to ramp up and get more cards. I think it's awesome. There's not that much card draw in Marvel Snap. I think there should be more because Adam Warlock sucks. Especially being a 5. Adam Warlock should definitely be better. Save Adam Warlock. And this one here is by the artist Jack. Good old Jack. So let's get into the next one. We have Baron Zemo. Baron Zemo is already in Marvel Snap, but I don't remember how old this challenge was. So on reveal, the next card both players draw costs 1 less, minimum 1. So this is pretty interesting. It's not a discard, which is all good. And this one's made by Longbones. Next one here, we have Karmpus. This is pretty interesting. At the start of the game, give Karmpus a present card in each player's deck, which is pretty interesting. So let's take a look at this Karmpus present card. Let's see here. If you play this, this turn, you draw it, give all of your cards plus 1 power, give power, else give them. If you play this turn, you draw it. If you play it the turn you draw it, give all your cards plus 1 power. And if you don't play it, they get -1 power, which could be a good thing or a bad thing, right? And it's a 0/0. So if you're playing like a junk deck, it might be good because you could give your negative cards more negative power. And then if you want to have your cards gain more power, then of course you just play the Karmpus present. And then next, yeah, there's just some variants. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so shout out to the artist for the Karmpus. And then next we have Pyro here. When you draw a card, destroy it and gain 4 power, which is pretty cool. I think Pyro should be in the game. I don't understand why Pyro isn't in the game already. And then this Pyro is by Kerbeks. Yeah, so Kerbeks here. So shout out to Kerbeks for the Pyro. And then next we have Grendel, which is pretty interesting. This is pretty cool. When you draw this, discard all your other cards, add their total power to this. So this is OP. This is probably like the symbiotes that like come out right from Clintar. It's basically that, but they discard and then absorb. So I think that's pretty cool. being a 6-0, man. Late game. But I actually like this card. This is pretty cool. I think it's pretty interesting. The cost is steep. The cost is very steep, but like I think it would work well with like Infinite and stuff like that, like stuff that just stuck in your hand where you can't play and you could just play Grendel. I think that's awesome. And that card is made by Voltron. So shout out Voltron. I think that card's awesome. Grendel is freaking awesome. I think that's the most playable card for me that I think is freaking awesome. And then next here, we have Shatterstar. Discard 2 cards, draw 2 cards. I think that is pretty cool. I like the card draw aspect of it. You discard 2, you draw 2. You just have like Swarms, Wolverine, like Miramasa Shard, X-23, stuff like that in your hand, Proxima Midnight. Cards in your hand that want to be discarded, and then you get more cards. Like, I think that's pretty awesome. I think that could definitely bring something to Marvel Snap. And that one is by AKG, so shout out to AKG for that card. Shatterstar. And these characters, too. Some of these characters are characters you just don't see or you don't think often of them. So I think that's pretty cool that you guys are bringing them out. And the next card we have here is Bastion. So at the start of your turn, you add a random Prime Sentinel to your hand instead of drawing a card, which is pretty cool. This one is made by Zoan. So this Prime Sentinel, your cards with the Sentinel and their name get +1 power, which is pretty cool. This one, on reveal, draw a card. All units attack. What does that mean? I don't know what all units attack. A 2/6. Interesting. And then add another random Prime Sentinel to your hand. Nice. So pretty cool, Bastion. X-Men 97. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Instead of having regular Sentinels, Prime Sentinels. So very cool concept. Very, very cool card. Thank you. And next, we have Triton here. Is it Triton? Yeah, at the start of your turn, if this is the only card here, draw a card. I think that's pretty fair. It's a 4/5. I think if like Zabu was still a thing, this card would be like OP because you would just play Zabu on 2, and the fact that this is a 4/5, you could get ahead pretty quickly. I think RIP old Zabu. But this one is made by Tim. It's Trigon, not Triton. Trigon. So this is made by Tim, so shout out to Tim. And then lastly, we have the Molecule Man, Owen Reese, right? So on reveal, change the text of the next card you draw to a random one, which is pretty crazy. I think this is the most interesting one of them all because you can have like a card that's pretty big. So let's say you have a card like Gladiator. He's a 3/8. Instead of him having his text, what if he has the text of Iron Man? That's pretty random, right? Is that like am I thinking this right? Let me know. Let me know if I'm thinking this right. So on reveal, change the text of the next card you draw to a random one. Yeah, so like you could draw like Living Tribunal, and then the text of it changes. I think that would be pretty cool. I don't know what deck it would go in. Would that go good with like a Thanos deck or something that wants to be random? I'm not sure what deck you would put that in. Let me know in the comments what deck you will put that in. But I think this is the most interesting card of them all, especially text. So very cool card there. Shout out to the Inspector Husky for that Molecule Man. So that is it for this custom card challenge. Again, thank you, Drew Berry, for letting me do this. We have a Dragon Ball Z custom card challenge coming up soon, so be on the lookout for that. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Till next time, keep on snapping, be safe, and peace.